Did you say? Oh, hey, Robert, how you feeling? Good. Okay. Oh, good. That's good to hear. Well, drink lots of liquids. Don't touch anything. Stay warm. Well, I'm doing all right. I'm going a little crazy. I'm getting a show together.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's a little, here's a card show.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is, oh my goodness. These works, how big are these works? They're amazing.
The tag is like this big, and the rock is
Okay, got you. Yeah, you use the colors. Pretty wonderful.
yeah, so come to the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be this week. So we're starting to hang it tomorrow. So, and then I've got a show I curated in the front with the counter tour, which is the inside looking out versus the outside looking in. So I've got a group show of artists for that.
I love how you capture the light in those pieces.
Thanks. Oh, I don't know what it is, but it really different.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Yes, so these are a little crazier.
you know where this is.
Yeah, it's right
Rose
there.
Sweet Gallery. Yeah.
Yeah, it's where they just had the show with Nikki Parker.
Wonderful. Well, I think you're such an improvisationalist.
Yeah.
You always land on your feet, so
Yeah,
whatever stress you're feeling around this is
Momentary, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, it's part of the whole game. Here's the other part. I don't know.
Whoa, what?
Yes, that's cool. So that's group art. That's Kyle Durham. That's her self-portrait. And then I've got 6 other artists.
This is paint and collage?
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Whoa. It's giving me so much to think about right now.
Good.
Yeah. I work in cut paper, so
Oh, very nice.
this is right up my alley.
Totally.
Okay, wonderful. What is this?
It's at the
oh,
same
it's
time. Yeah, it's because you remember the gallery, they got the exhibition area, and then they got the front room that's surrounded by the stairs.
Right.
And now they have upstairs another big gallery that's off to the side, so more storage. And then the seating area, so that show is going to be at the second floor. And then the front reminds me of that.
Okay, wonderful.
So they're all part of the same grouping.
So first Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah. Yeah, tell people about it. It'd be fun.
I definitely will.
And so it's first Friday, and then it's also Saturday is technically the opening for the front one. But it really is going to open the same time. It's just so they have it separate.
Okay, well, here's another card.
Oh, that's from Nikki Parker, so it's just
Wow. So
she's a recent graduate.
are a lot of people having shows at this tour?
Well, it's just sort of the shows right now. Yeah, we're trying, we're getting things going, things are opening up again, so we're just trying to, get things moving.
Yeah. Also, the restrictions, what are restrictions in
Yeah, they are. So, yeah, they're going to limit the number of people that are going to be there, but they're going to also make it a little easier to, won't be as restrictive. Because they were at like 15, now they're saying they can even have 50.
Oh, whoa, that's a huge jump.
I know, so I said, don't do that, that's too many.
Yeah.
So let's do it that way. So they're going to do like every half hour intervals.
Oh,
So if you cross over a little bit, it's fine. There's just a lot to look at because as one moments ago said, you could start off back in the back and then by the time you work your way up to the second floor, you're far away from everybody. There's no reason I'll show you out at that point.
Okay.
But there's going to be everything in that front room. It's going to be everything from that collage with the paint to soft sculpture that's made from fabric, to very representational painting, to abstraction. So because the idea which you really get is it's coming from within. It's the motivation is from the inside, then projecting out. And mine's from the outside looking in.
Right.
So it becomes like this little bit more of an idea trying to uncover what's behind these things.
It's almost like a Indiana show.
That's right.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, because I thought about what would be in the front, and I thought it would be fun to have something like that because it would help kind of illuminate the experience that you're perceiving.
Definitely.
Versus, just another thing of, oh yeah, Kurt works kind of thing.
Yeah, it does. It makes it very interesting.
It's like the Bruce and Reese work. Ooh, the Reese work. So I've been using social media to kind of get more of that messaging out. And that's kind of fun too. Oh, hey, yes, how are you?
I'm gonna go get my phone really quick.
I was just talking to Medusa. Medusa's here, feeling much better. Yeah, so the show's opening Friday, so we're gonna start hanging it tomorrow. So I was just telling Medusa that. So, Abby, you're too far away. You can see things online, but the rest of the folks should come over. Come over on Friday. On the website, when you go to rosemcleave.com, they'll have a link. So right now they don't have it because they're still in between, but once it shows up, then they'll take actually an image of everything as it's going through. And so you can go through the show virtually. You'll be able to do that, which will be kind of fun. It's at Gross McLeaf Gallery. What I'll do, look it up, but you know what I'll do is I'll send you guys today a virtual invitation. I'll send you the cards, because I have them on that. So I'll send this. Yeah, so it's it's at 16th and Moravian, Vanessa. It's in between Sansom and Walnut on 16th. Well, it's right in Center City. Oh, very cool, very cool. Yeah, it's a really it's a nice gallery. It's got a lot of space. So I was just telling Medusa that there's 2 full floors of exhibition here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I curated the show in the front, and then there'll be my show at the back.
Yeah, it's not about it's not hard.
No, it's very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baca, it's like a 10-minute walk.
Okay, yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I go there, I park still over here because it's the easiest place to park, and then I just walk over. That'd be great. Very, very cool. Yeah, and anybody else. It's good to see real art and see things in person. You know, it's like, what the hell? It's been so long. We didn't see things. It's so crazy. We're going nuts here. So we're still waiting for you to get on, but what we're going to be doing today is start the pose that we were going to last week. And it's going to be a multiple sessions. So we're going to do it for 3 times. And then the model is going to have 2 different poses. So this is one of our accommodations for COVID, is to have the same model, because you have one that's approved versus having multiples. Normally we have 2 different models. And so this will take on 2 different personas. And then when we do the final pose after this, which will be about 7 weeks, Medusa will take several poses. And so usually there's going to be 3 poses in that, but we might even do more. I'm getting a little more into this idea of having things a little more transitory, not so frozen, you know, so we might have Medusa feel that out a little bit as you go. Yes, Adam. Yes. Oh, for sure, of course. Yeah, I was already going to do that, for sure. I'll do that anyway. That's right. Yes. Okay, that sounds good. We'll definitely do that. So I'll get the things set up, and I'm just going to go over the images I have for us to look at today, and then we'll go from there. Let me see. So Tali, Grace, Terry, there. Okay, let's Kate here. All right. Okay, let's get started. Oh, oh my God, it's so weird. That's creepy. Kate, I was literally just saying your name. That is so weird. So I'm back with the mask again because Medusa's here. So now that we have another person in the room, masks have to go on. So that'll be part of our general formatting here. Okay, so let me go to screen share, and I have a series of multiple figures, but I still want you to think about the idea of pattern, color, and design essentially to drive the image here, the 2, but I'll talk about the 2 images as we get going here. Okay. Okay, so I have our first qualified on there, which we're asked to do now. This presentation does show depictions of Salieri, or at least alludes to it. Okay, so just so you're aware as we go forward. Okay, so starting with John Sloan, you can see from the date 1912, it was kind of an interesting time in art, because John Sloan was part of what we all know as the Ashcan group, as in they're painting the natural world around them. And it wasn't uncommon to do that, but they were looking back at the Dutch artists like Frans Hals and being inspired by that, and of course they were looking at Velasquez. But what I was interested in showing you about today, and this is our theme, is how to group these figures. So having the figures up doing something is one way of really dealing with multiple figures. So you have the laundry hanging on there, which becomes like another ersatz figure. It might be interesting for you to think about the fact that they're only white objects, and the figures are almost clad in white. So it's kind of an interesting choice that way. But I love this negative space that's existing in here. And then the way that the gestures, leaning, extending, leaning over, are really helping integrate these figures. And they're sitting within this big cast shadow from the building, but they still have their own unique light in there. So this figure is less lit, this one is silhouette, and then this one is most lit. And again, we'll think about that because you can see from the YouTube, I've lit that yellow box more than I did the blue, and so there'll be a little bit more light on the figure from that. So that can really help. But these feet aren't just leaning out there, they're gestural. These feet, you can barely see are gestural. These you can't see at all. But the arms are lifted up but uneven. This one is definitely uneven. This one with the hair coming down. So then it becomes again a theme. They're drying their hair. So it becomes like a theme as it goes. Winslow Homer did a lot of paintings of people by the seaside, and this was a watercolor that he did when he was in northern England, cold coast. And he got really involved in this idea of the whole marine life and how they would exist on the shoreline and interact. But I wanted to show this one particularly because of the two children in there, the one helping drive the narrative of looking off at these ships, presumably for the father or husband to come back. And then this child countering that. So it becomes direction, direction, out, this direction, in. But you also might notice that this is very much about that asymmetry, where the majority of your subject is off to the right. And so that becomes the subject from the figures. But in here, this is really the narrative. So the artist wants to show you that that's the case, that this is just as important, even though that's really minimized because of it. But that's all thought out. There's nothing random about this. This is a very orchestrated composition. It's just looks very spontaneous. And just like with the last one, look at this negative space in here, the silhouette, the entirety of this figure, the light as it falls on here, the folded arms versus the open ones holding the child, and then this child showing that kind of, being upset. Now we're going into Titus Kaffir, and Titus is a contemporary artist that deals with depictions of persons of color, either in slavery or in the contemporary slavery, they think, which is like, being the nannies for these blood children. So often when black people were referenced early on, they would be all in black and those would be symbols, and Titus is just kind of reversing that. But thematically, that's what's driving it, which is extremely powerful. And I've got two other images of Titus's work. But I wanted to show this because this relates both to, again, groupings of figures where you've got this figure leaning in, this one looking out, this one engaging the viewer, and then these children very gestural where we know they're both looking at us, we don't see the faces. But there's like this clawing and kind of interacting with the stroller, and then this one's a bit more passive in there, and then the hand as it comes over, the hand as it comes over. So the figures are really beautifully placed within that, but then there's this wonderful use of color with exaggeration even down to the pathways and roads being these pinks and purples, yellow rooftops, pink sky, green as you'd expect, but a very acidy green, and then the patterns that are within the clothing of the figures as it goes in. But when the artist gets to the figures, they're actually handled very graphically. And then this is another very interesting one where this maid is playing with the child, and it's in this very fancy home, and she's sweeping up. But this child's quite large, and kind of cutting over, and then this maid's kind of encountering us, and then there's liquor here with two glasses, which makes you think, well, what's going on? Why is there a loan there? What happened in the break? Is the person nearby? What's the relationship? But the two figures really interact beautifully in this rectangular kind of diagonal that's going from side to side. So that's actually quite a nice device. And then it's going in another direction this way, so it becomes like an X, fostered by that perspective, and then the wood go in this direction, and the wood go in that direction, the patterns, the colors, the patterns. So everything kind of, builds up from there. And this is also Titus Capital. And then this is the one that Tice is really known for, which is the depiction of Thomas Jefferson with his slave, Senator Sonia Hemings. And this is in the background, and it's like this painting, which would normally be a portrait, is just stripped away. And then this is what's revealed behind there, so the story continues. But again, this is an interesting grouping because it's really becomes like this figure is growing out of the existence of that portrait, in the bath. And then this is the water again, so it's like Bathsheba kind of idea. But the eye is shown right out, and then the face tilted, turning right towards us. Just shows how you can make really poignant moments out of things that are fairly challenging, but then also very contemporary. And of course, the title of the podcast. So it's the record. All right. So, any thoughts or questions about any of that? Okay. Good. All right. So I'm going to set up Medusa. And we're going to have them just in two different poses, and one's going to be, with different, slightly different garments underneath. But I want you to think about the patterns, the color, textures, and since you have 3 weeks on this, a lot of what can be done today is working out the placement and the composition. And then, as you start to fill in these areas, don't get that paint very heavy. Start to lay it in thinner veils. If it's from underpainting, of course, I'll already be thin, but if you're working more directly, then you're just laying out blocks of local color for any of these areas you're there. And you should be fairly comfortable because it's the same setup as last week. It'll just be done a little differently. So what I'm going to first do is I'll bring this over so you can see, and I'll be talking with this so you can see the screen through the camera here, what I'm doing. And so we're going to have Medusa kind of work through these different positions, and then I'll tell you this is what we're going to keep, and then we'll go from there. All right, sound good? All right, good. So Medusa, why don't we do the 2 different poses first?
Okay.
And then, so we'll show them what's going to happen. I like that wrap, nicely done, very good.
Yeah.
And it actually is amazing. Again, you and I are in sync with the blue and the purple. Look at this.
That's
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's really just amazing.
Your reader's mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool. So what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for an interaction, but not an obvious one. So let's start with the yellow right now to show that, because that's going to be you in the light.
Okay.
And I think that purple will be kind of good there. And what else do you have that you can put on to go to that pose?
I might have some extra fabric. I did not get home to get my fabric.
Yeah.
I sort of quarantined myself.
Oh, okay.
But what I could also do is put this fabric on it.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
And I could tie this around myself and
Okay.
fan it in such a way.
Because you don't have a bra at all.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I
you
do.
do?
I have a bra.
What color is
it's the pink one.
Oh, use that then. So this is for that, and then that can be on your lower part.
And actually, what I could do is I could tie this around the entirety of it.
No, I don't
So-
want to do that because that would change too much.
Okay, you don't
Yeah.
want, so you want this incorporated, okay.
Right. So that would be the first one. So have, okay, I'm looking at it now. So you'll be like that, right?
Okay.
And then look back this way. Let me see what that last post was. So we want to mimic that.
Right.
So this was the last one. You were
Okay.
kind of sitting, looking. So maybe what you should do is, why don't we put you? Let's see, that one I think could be. Yeah, that's a pretty good, kind of close up. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that's going to be the first pose. All right, now you don't need to change your outfit. Just go to the next one. And I think with that one, what we'll do is let's get you down lower and then lean onto the seat. Right. I should be looking at my live stream because it's a little different. Okay. Lean into the chair a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be cropped off. That's good. I like that. Okay. And so you're going to be looking at the viewer. Look at this. Here's my finger. You'll put the finger. And you got this. So you can notice, class, that the model is cut off on this one, which is good. It's purposely cut off. Is that uncomfortable? Do you want to see?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how not to have my leg fall asleep.
Yeah, why don't you this one?
Oh, thank you.
And then don't be afraid of interacting with that chair. Yeah. That's a little closed up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. I like that better. Yeah. All right, so Medusa's going to have a different top on when in this pose, but we're just doing it to show you. So you're going to start over with the yellow one first. All right, so that looks good. Let me, where's my camera? Let me take a photo of that so we have a record of it. Okay, and then let's go to the other pose now. If you remember it. Good. Okay, good. Put the elbow out a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then look down a little bit, just so you interact with that. Okay, good. Okay, folks, that's it. So I'll send you the images along with what I just took, and so you have that, and then get started and think about the containment of this is going to be your subject of the two chairs with the drapery behind it, okay? And then you can change the direction, you can, adjust it a little bit. You see where that's going to go, but I'm sending these photos right now. Yeah. to photos. So we got and also some images for the show. Yeah, what's up? Yes, you got it. So I'm thinking about 2 figures at least, but definitely two. And you want colored out. Can you work? Yes, that's it. Come back at, let me come back at, check in between and then again, so come in about an hour or so, show me what you're working on, and then come again. Yeah, then it's like 3:45 or something, 3:30 we could start. All right? Hey, Amanda, do you need me to, turn the screen so you can see it? Cause can you get YouTube? Alright, let me put the screen over just in case. So feel okay? Lisa?
Yeah, that's fine.
You warm it up?
Yeah.
Just to let it warm up so.
Yeah, I heard the temperature's supposed to really drop tomorrow.
Yeah, not too bad. I don't know why they keep saying that. It's pretty weird. It's not that bad. It seems like the coldest day is gonna be Friday, but even then it's 41.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's not polar vortex temperatures.
No. Yeah, like tomorrow 39. What do you do, right? And then it's gonna be 55 on Wednesday.
Oh.
And then 45, 42, 45. So, I mean, and then next week 60.
That's wow.
So it looks like we're out of this whole polar thing.
Yeah, it's like spring is right around the corner.
That's really weird. Enough's enough, right? We got enough one. Plenty. Seems like forever since you've been there, even though it's just a week.
I know, right? unless we had some weird weather.
I know, I think that's part of it.
I'm glad to be back though.
Yeah, last week it was snowing.
Yeah. It was snowing, it was icing, it was sleeting.
Yes, it was ice and sleet, yeah. I was so worried they were gonna close school.
Yeah. Yeah, because the last time they did, last time it snowed, but that was really extreme with the snow.
Very extreme.
We didn't start the anymore.
You didn't start?
No, but I see it's 1:42.
It's close. Almost. Hang it.
No, that's time, because I started at 1:21.
That's pretty funny. Oh, wait, whatever it's not.
Oh, okay. The body doesn't lie.
It's so slow, but you get this idea, maybe same studio. That would change the world.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. All right, gang, let me look at the video. Okay. All right, Vanessa, one of Rose starts us off. Okay. Oh yeah, right, it is. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, that's a nice start. It's really nice. I like that purple and everything. So it kind of gets you started with the color. So the only thing is that second figure is either going to have to be compressed more than we have it in the scene, or be cropped a lot. Because there's not a lot of room. Yeah. You know, the other thing is that maybe it's being netted on a piece of paper. Yeah. Oh, you know what might be fun is maybe you could even do another one on a separate piece of paper, right on the other side, just flip it, and then join them together after. You know? Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, good, because that's an awesome gesture and everything. I like it. It's great. All right. All right. Claire, what do you say? Earth to Claire. Okay, Tara. Hey Tara, how are you? Oh yeah, good. Nicely done with your separations. Very good. Somebody's got that volume on. Maybe I have it. Wait, hold on. Hold on. No, sorry, that's right. Okay, all right, do it again. Let me see it again. And then the other one, think about how that's going to be placed. Maybe it'll be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. The big one looks good though. That looks nice. I think you've got to really think about that negative space, and you also want to think about how it's kind of relate to the other one and the patterns and colors around it. So lay in some colors, and you can start to work it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks, man. All right. Let's see. Grace, are you there? So, Grace, are you doing something where you're going to choose your imagination again, or are you going to work with some of the poems and then change them, or where are we going?
So I wanted to do like, since it's a few weeks.
Yes.
I kind of put together this like film night with the laptop.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find all into a bigger session.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So, think about then first and foremost what's your most dominant subject with all that. Is it going to be the two mirror ideas? Where one's on the screen and one's a mirror? Is it going to be one's going to be larger, one's going to be smaller? Is it going to be the still itself? Is it going to be the interior that it exists in? So try to get that a little bit hammered out right now. And then think about how color and texture can be, or pattern can be a little bit more part of it as well. Yeah, I missed that last part there, so.
Oh, sorry, yeah, so like I said, the still life is going to be the most prominent part, and then like the laptop was under the table, and the mirror is more like what reflects the still life, and it's not as big part.
Okay. And that could even be a little more abstracted. Okay, interesting. All right, sounds good. Great. I like it. All right, Holly. That's a massive group. Hey, who are you? Are you at home or at Papa? Yes. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, all right, all right. Okay, all right. All right, that looks good. That's interesting. I like the dark figure as it relates to that very yellow chair. And then you're also skewing the perspective. Yes, right. Yeah, I think organizing is good, and then also maybe having some localized colors, so the color becomes responsive to the local areas versus around it. Like the yellow chair, the red chair, the right kind of thing.
Right. But like, almost like, yeah, I agree, that it's like this dark shade response.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and I like the dark shade guys in this idea, but if there being a positive or a negative space, you're not really sure, And then it can also become more of a graphic element. I'm just watching the pose for a second. All right, good. That looks good. Okay, great. Okay, that's the next one. Yeah, and so the only other thing, Tali, is to think about what's happening at that upper right-hand side. Because everything's so much, yeah, like how you gonna deal with that? Like what's gonna start to? Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. So that already existed, so maybe you play the complement or maybe you can increase it around it. Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe continue to pink up there and then that's something then you react to after all that's on there. Instead of the white, because I think your main job right now is get rid of the white. Yeah, and I like that little symbolic thing down at the bottom. You know, there's a lot of history of this kind of border decoration, from both architecture to furniture to paintings to wall murals, and that's kind of tying into that, which might be interesting for you to look into. You know, it's you know, people like to have the vision or the image kind of framed in, if you will. So that's kind of what you're making. All right, sounds good, Tom. So keep going. All right, Kate. Kate, how are you feeling? You all done with this thing?
Yes, I am. But not much.
Good, good job. I'm very glad. I think you have the volume on the YouTube because I checked mine. Mine's not on. So you, because I'm getting an echo. Yes. Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's I have to do it on mine too. I have to turn it off with the. Oh wow, that's great with the gray in there connecting it. I like the big blocks in there. So you're using the furniture as a basis to build the figure off of. So what you might find that this figure is going to creep very close, if not overlap the existing one. And so that shouldn't be something you should worry about. Just think about the negative space as it comes up there. And if you have this V coming from the top, it's a very good thing. All right? So V's or triangles are really wonderful things to move your eye around. So just from the first pass of this, I think that arm lifting out from the figure that's seated that you just did, that's going to be your arrow going to the left-hand side, and then the knee going to the other side. So you've got that pretty balanced between the two. And so now with the figure as it's sitting, the bent leg will then make a receptor for that V, and then the other one will go away and up into the chair. You see what I'm saying? So there's like a nice rhythm of those different triangular shapes moving around. And if you will, it's like having a series of arrows moving your eye around the composition. All right? And then the way that can help you in the upper areas is those big triangular swaths coming down from the folds of the drapery. And so it's not just about that verticality, it's about this, and one's more patterned, one's less, and you can kind of build off of that. I love this image of your hand up there holding this thing, it's great. And then your face right next to it, it's really good. Yeah. I love it, it's the perfect size. See, Kate in there are, there you go. I love it. It's fabulous. It's really cool. All right, good start, Timmy. Really nice. Okay. Vanessa's got the close-up of the Dunkin' Donuts glass now. You're like an advertisement for Dunkin' Donuts. Oh my God. Do they give you a discount? Oh my gosh. Oh, I know, it's nice to be known, is it? All right, sounds good. Hey, Amanda. Yeah, I know, that's good. Then we go, mocha latte, venti latte, mocha
They
thingy.
know my dogs. My sister was with her dogs, and then they. I went my dog got. I went my fluffy white dog. The one guy is so upset.
Oh,
We went
no.
like 1 meter at a time.
Oh,
So I'm taking care of 5 minutes. My dog. Alright, so I have some like just some other
yes,
papers.
yes.
And it's like kind of this is just a regular paper for now. But I just don't know how to like do this.
Yeah, so what you should do is think about them independent of one another, and then when you put them together, that becomes then your opportunity to join them either from that series of triangles, like I was just talking to Kate about, or if you think about patterns or color intensities, or the old fallback is the light, because what I did is I turned the overhead on, so the light is beating right from the center there. So that is a light that both poses share.
Okay.
So where there's light, there's color, in other words. So that's gonna do it. But what I want you to do is actually not even think about it right now. And then have it be something that becomes a reaction or an interaction after the fact, which I think will be kind of fun.
Yeah, alright, that makes sense. I was thinking about the like minus one.
Yep. Think of it separate and then put them together. Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Page, no padding underneath?
What'd you say?
Is that a padding underneath?
Yes, it's perfect.
Oh my gosh, I feel like so many things are going on at once here.
Yeah. Seems like things are gonna really be picking up.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that you get to show your work right when the restrictions are being pulled back. You know?
Yeah, that's such a good timing, isn't it?
Yeah. Then if you have really nice weather,
Yeah, they're
you're
good.
putting on a good attendance.
Yeah, and it's also just, I think the whole thing is that with the weather getting warmer, more people feel like just being out, going somewhere. And one of the best places you can go is to these galleries. They're so safe. They're really, they're being really careful. And the air flow is so nice. It's one of the few things in our world here that's you feel comfortable doing. Although no wine at the opening.
That's fine for me. That's fine. I'm sure some people will be disappointed.
Yeah, I used to always buy my own wine, so you didn't have to drink that jug wine.
You didn't have to drink that swell.
I mean, you're asking people to come and buy work and enjoy themselves, and
Right.
it's a jug of wine. It's not much of a price.
Jug of wine. That sounds as bad as the box of wine.
Yeah.
Jug of wine. I think jugs, I think moonshine.
Yeah, no, well, it kind of is like moonshine. Friend of mine's a moonshiner.
Really now?
And he makes gin
Wow.
and moonshine actually.
So or they have access to juniper beer? Was it
Yeah.
juniper beer?
Yeah. Yeah, he gets as he refers to them, botanicals, mixes them together, has a big still. There are places in Manny.
Oh.
It's called Liberty Gin. It's actually quite tasty. It's good.
Liberty Gin?
Yeah, Liberty.
Okay. I'll look into that.
Yeah. And when there's not COVID on weekends, they have tastings. Little glasses in there. Nice.
That's really cool.
All that's come to a close with COVID.
Yeah. I've never heard of gin tastings before.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't either before they started doing this. They just started about 5 years ago.
They probably got a good turnout, folks.
Yeah, they did.
Does Manioc have an outdoor art festival?
I don't, they normally do, but I'm not sure what's happening this year. I think for the most part, things are kind of canceled for
I'm curious though, because, well, I guess we have to see what happens after the restrictions are raised.
that. Right.
Sort of a wait and see game. But if that works out, I would hope that in the spring or the summer they would have.
Well, see, you gotta think too, spring and summer, more people are gonna be vaccinated. So I think things are just gonna pretty much open up regardless. They're really looking at the summer as the turning point.
It gives me hope.
They have Johnson now approved, so that's gonna start getting administered. Starting tomorrow, actually.
Oh, that's a really fast rollout.
Yep. Well, they knew they were gonna get approved, so they started making it. We've been trying to get vaccination quotas, but they won't let us sign up, saying we're not eligible. Well, we are eligible.
Yeah, definitely should be eligible.
Yeah, so I don't know why that's happening. It's just Pennsylvania, just not doing a good job here.
I mean, you're teachers.
Yeah.
So, and I just saw today in Jersey, the teachers are going to get theirs by, I think they said like the middle of March.
Yeah, so maybe that's a good thing. But, the good news is I found out the writing, it's right at that corner. It's one of the writings is ministry. So that would be pretty nice.
Wonderful. And it's in the neighborhood.
It is one. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, because you're sort of an at-risk, you're part of an
Yeah,
at-risk group.
totally. I don't know. We better get it together.
I noticed they are having to make announcements on television that folks still need to wear their mask even after they get the vaccine.
Yeah,
They're stressing it too.
yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid the masks are here to stay for quite a while.
I kind of wish we had I wish there were more clear masks
Yeah.
made so we can see people's faces.
I know.
I miss people's noses and mouths.
I know.
The eyes are okay.
I know. I've actually gotten to know you with our masks on, so I barely even know you with them on.
Right. Right.
I think same thing with some of the students, I don't even know them. Yeah, it's certainly gone on long enough. So let's see.
I'm wondering what the young children
Yeah.
are going to do when they get older around the mask. Like I wonder if some of them are going to make artistic statements
Yeah, maybe.
about when they were younger and everybody had to wear a mask.
Well, really, we're considering that one of the things we've been concerned about in the last year is this idea of how everybody's being seen, right? How they're being treated. So there is this nice equilibrium happening in that mask. So maybe that'll help. In other words, less identity, you know? Well, who knows?
It makes me think of one of my friend's fathers. He was talking about when he was younger.
he remembers being in the neighborhood and there being I guess there were mosquitoes, really bad mosquitoes when he was down here.
Uh-huh.
And so there'd be a truck that would spray pesticide
Yes,
through the streets.
yeah, they'd go run in it, I've heard that story.
Gosh,
Yeah.
people would run into
Yeah,
this
they run into this, play in the
poison.
clouds of it,
That's terrible.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's pretty weird, isn't it?
Oh.
Pretty weird.
I'm sure the mask will see like they're pretty weird years from now too.
No, I'm afraid not,
No.
because I think there'll be the new versions of whatever's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, they came up with this one I saw. It looks like you ever see the group Daft Punk
Yes,
where they have those helmets on?
yes.
It looks like that,
Oh,
where it entirely covers your face and your whole head,
oh, gosh.
but it's supposed to pump and purify air,
Right.
so you stand no chance of getting COVID. I want to be protected, but I don't want to be a robot. I want to have a robot head.
What happened to the producer? They're over there. Where's your identity, right?
Right.
Oh, that's time.
It is nice when you're going back and forth between the poses because it doesn't, your body then can repair.
Yeah. Gives it time to like readjust.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Are we just sticking with 2 poses today?
You sure are.
Okay.
That's enough. How much does anyone need? You're not coughing too much.
Yeah, I did take a coughing suppressant before I left too.
Oh, you
Good old Mucinex DM.
did? Yeah, that works.
Helps in public too, because I know when people, when they cough around other folks, they get really suspicious.
Oh,
They're looking at you like you have it, and you're going to give it to them.
yeah. So how did you fill out that questionnaire?
Oh, well, I have a cough, but I say no because I realize that when I take the medicine, I don't have a cough.
Oh, all right.
Also, too, I think wasn't feeling well because after I modeled for Scott on Saturday,
Yeah.
I stayed at a friend of mine's house. We slept on his couch and they had the heater stopped working. So I woke up and I was really,
Really chilled.
yeah, I was really chilled. I was achy. And then the next day, I started feeling warm and itchy throat. So
Yeah.
I just figured I probably got sick from that, but I did get tested
Good.
also in the meantime, just to make sure.
Yeah, did Jimmy make you do that, or you just did it for yourself?
I just did it on my own because I don't want to I don't want to get anybody sick,
No.
you know. And I had a class with you and a class with, well, 2 sessions with Scott
Right.
where there's people present, you know, they're not remote learning.
Yep.
And then I also have my grandma.
Of course.
So I'm
Well,
really,
that's nice. Glad you're being cautious.
yeah, I try to be really thorough about it. And then where I live, it's kind of even nuttier because the person that's my apartment mate, she goes over across the street to walk their dog, the
Right.
neighbors across the street. But one of the neighbors across the street who just moved in, he has, or they have a boy, or they have a partner that has a compromised immune system. So
Yeah.
it's almost like I have to go through a whole nother COVID questionnaire whenever I go back there.
Makes sense. Can't pull it out.
Yeah, it's all, I mean, I know it's for safety. It is kind of a pain, kind of a pain to jump through all these little hoops. As long as
A few more
everybody's,
months.
huh?
A few more months.
I'm hoping it's just a few more months and not like another couple of years.
No. Nope. No way.
I don't want to see some of my favorite restaurants close
Nope.
down because it's COVID.
Galleries.
Yeah. I mean, I was even thinking about Reading Terminal.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to go there as much as I can.
Yeah. I noticed the merchants there appreciate it, you know.
Sure.
And I'm surprised, but people are pretty well behaved whenever I've gone into Reading Terminal.
Yep. You have more people eating in person too.
Oh, in the food court area? Okay.
In the Amish place.
I miss going to that one Amish place that's a counter, just sit in and eat counter.
Yeah. Yeah, they're open.
Yeah.
I was just there today.
Sorry, what did you say?
I was just there today.
Oh, cool. Did you get anything good?
Yeah. Yeah, I like breakfast.
What's your favorite breakfast thing to have from there?
Well, I usually get a scrambled eggs, turkey sausage, cinnamon apple toast. Which is one of their specialties.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's good.
It has a very old school feel to it just because of the setup too, which is something I like. Turkey sausage.
Yeah, it's pretty flavorful.
Are they in like link form or are they patty form? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you'd be hard pressed to tell with the turkey.
Oh, so they're that well seasoned.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like turkey bacon.
No. Their turkey bacon's good though.
Yeah, but you can definitely
Yeah, we can
tell the difference.
Bacon is bacon, that's for sure.
Do you like kimchi, Joe?
Yeah.
I've been looking for a really good kimchi place around here.
Mm. Yeah, it's, I don't know where they were there. Or West Philly.
Yeah, West Philly and, excuse me, down at, I guess 7th and Washington Avenue.
Yeah, that's big, yeah. A lot of neighborhoods go
Ooh, Bonnie's. I forgot
Oh,
about
no,
that.
Yeah, see, my favorite place is actually in West Philly. It's Chuck, right on Penn's campus, right at the 33rd.
Okay.
He's got really good things. People come from far and wide for that.
And it's a food truck?
Yeah, right outside the science building,
Okay.
right before Walnut on 33rd.
Okay, I got you. You're in the science building with the big ear and nose.
Yeah.
I used to work up a little ways from there.
Yeah, that's, I hope he's still there. I haven't been for a few months, but he weathered the first part of the group. Because there's more students on campus now. Most of the classes aren't in session, but he's there.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. All those food trucks over there
Yeah.
that don't have students coming to them.
And someone survived out of the hospital, but we can't visit in person.
I wonder if those food trucks ever resort to doing delivery.
Yeah.
Not delivering on their own, but like getting DoorDash or.
Should do. Right? You have to adapt.
Yeah, or you get left behind, get left below. Gotta be like a shark.
Yep.
One thing I did discover is that kimchi actually helps get rid of excess phlegm.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So if you have excess mucus or you feel like you're going to catch the flu or anything like that, kimchi is the way to go.
Good enough.
I seem to think it like shifts the body's alkalinity
Yeah.
so that germs can't live in there. You know.
Makes sense. Maybe that drink that kombucha would do the same thing.
Drink it?
You know, like kombucha thing?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get that same kind of. Or you know what else? Have you ever had that apple cider vinegar and honey?
Yeah.
That's the same idea that it shifts the alcohol in the system.
They call that the mother. I guess the strongest, most I guess organic type of.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore. I mean, really, you have to be committed.
You do, and you might have to be homebound for like a few days, you know.
Yeah, you know what I do is I add ginger to it, fresh ginger,
Ooh.
and it softens the blood. It's just so tart, even though
Yeah.
even with honey in it.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, fresh ginger is a great cure for so many things. It's great. Settle the stomach.
Is that why when we were younger, parents tried to give you ginger ale if you had upset stomach?
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that's such a great taste, that ginger. It became so unpopular, maybe because of that.
Unpopular.
Yeah, it's
Ginger ale?
yeah, it's not that go-to for a lot of people.
I feel you. You said it's not the go-to.
Yeah,
It's Pepsi or
not
Coke for most
Pepsi.
people. Well, I don't know if you've seen, but some of the ginger ales are trying to make them different. They're trying to make different sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
taste. They'll put blueberry in the ginger ale, and I even saw a 7-Up with ginger in it.
Yeah.
There's so many other soda flavor options now. Ginger ale is falling off.
Poor ginger.
Poor ginger ales.
COVID is very softly. Sorry for ginger ale.
I like ginger ale. It's got to be my favorite because it reminds me of like if you like beer, it's like a good substitute if you're not into drinking, if it's not the right time of day for beer.
That's true.
And then if you are drinking, it goes great with rum.
Yeah.
Do you like ginger beer?
Sure.
The spicy kind?
Sure. Yeah, I used to just drink, I chew on ginger root.
What? Whoa, that's bold.
It's hard, different.
Did you cut it up, I hope?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you have little slices, but yeah, chill. It's good. I usually have some in my bag.
So is that your like your go-to
Yeah.
for good health?
Yeah, just, kind of a stomach relaxer. Yeah. Yeah,
Will help to keep you warm too.
yeah, right. Yeah, I eat it all with some of the bread.
Whoa. How much ginger do you think you go through in a month?
Oh, I go through several roots.
Whoa.
Ginger roots are thin. It's the way to go.
That's pretty amazing.
I was looking for some ginger earlier.
Yeah, there's nothing like fresh ginger.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what stuff is. It's like Parmesan. What do you just get Parmesan on the chicken?
Yeah, oh, I remember that. The grated Parmesan that you would get
Yeah.
from the supermarket. It would be like, I forget what brand it was. It always came in a green
Yeah.
container, and it tasted the worst.
It tastes like soap.
It had more texture than taste.
Yeah.
I had to look back. I had to go back there.
Yeah, well, real serious stuff. Hey, there's your expansion.
Right?
It's warming up. I was just looking, it's 45.
So it's gonna be pretty warm by the time we get out of here.
Not too bad.
All right.
Wasn't earlier. Wasn't earlier. It's cold. It's time. What are you timing it on? Oh, there it is. Oh.
Yeah, I'll turn it up so that way people will hear it. I hear little tinkling going.
Looks like they, what?
Sorry.
Bah. Look, the fault. Hey, you did it for a while, you're losing your sense of things. Next thing you know, you're careening off the miles.
I do the right.
What happened to Medusa? Went flying off the miles. All right, Vanessa, let's see what's going on. Oh, nice. Geez, I love that energy and the richest color, particularly the way you're using the yellow for the white. Excellent. Really
Yeah, I thought
nice.
it was trying too, because my little arrow was like,
Yeah.
this side was really lit, and then on the other one, you were near, like, that side was really lit.
Exactly, and they'll connect that way. Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, so just think about exaggerating some of the color in the figure as well. Because Medusa's got a lot of color. I mean, it should have been run light, but like where's the shadow? Like maybe greens and purples and stuff. Be good for that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a great
But awesome, really nice start. Really loved it. Wow, what a difference just in 1 year. Jeez Louise. It is crazy. All right, Claire, what's going on? How's it going? Uh-oh. little backstage drama. Oh my gosh, Claire, you got a lot done. Oh, I like the way you put the mannequin in too. So, lift it up just a little bit, a little higher, a little more, perfect. Okay, yeah, because I love your use of the cropping. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is on the figure that we just worked on, don't have that foot run off. So that would be a simple solution of just extending the upper leg a little bit more and turning the lower one to the side, and then that way that foot can project out and not have to run off. Because you don't want both of them running off. But there's a nice balance between the two, and you can start getting some local color in those figures now. Getting them mapped out a little bit. All right, but nicely done, very nice. And you have 3 weeks, so no rush. Drama or not, it's gonna happen. All right, let's see, Kate. Ooh, I like that light. Look at that behind you. It's like this beam of light. Oh yeah, nice. Wow, you got a lot done. Yeah, so I think you're also utilizing the color nicely. I like the intensity of that yellow. But think about what Vanessa just did with bringing up that yellow on the top of that bent leg too. I think it was a good call. And then you can pick up some of the color on the other figure that we'll be working on now as it comes down the side of the figure. So what times it's 2:46. So you'll start getting a little bit more of the light from overhead showing up because the light will be a little lower, and so that will be more noticeable. So that's something to look forward to as well. That when we start the painting, the light won't be as noticeable, but as it progresses, it'll be more because it gets darker in the room. Okay? So, all right, good. Sounds good. All right, Tara, you're ready. Tara? Tara, you want to show? Please. Yes, I did. Tara, how are you? Yeah, you're hearing echo or something, so it's probably hard to hear. Oh, I like that lower part of the body. That looks good. Hey, Tara, what's happening is that you've got the volume on the YouTube going and the one on the. So if you turn your volume off on the YouTube, can you do that? On the projection of the figures, you can turn that off. No, I guess not. So Tara, can you hear me? I don't think you're hearing me very well. Yeah, I could. That's good. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Tyler, what are you working on? Tyler. Yes. Oh yeah, that's nice for that blue. That's good. I think filling's a good idea, and then if you bring up some of the patterns in there too, like you can pick up some invented pattern or even use some symbols or textures in there. What's the stuff that's along the top? Hieroglyphs? Yeah. Yeah, maybe you can include those patterns in some blue. Or make up some other ones. So the pink is making like, yeah. Is that border what you're seeing on the rug?
No, this is like waves,
Mhm.
like, in front of it.
Oh, I
So
see.
maybe when you put patterns that would like go behind it.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And the other thing you look for too, Cal, is to repeat some of your patterns that you've got. Like, for instance, on that chair, the space between the figure and that pattern's nice. You can repeat that. You could look for like the shape between the legs of the table. That can be repeated. Because it's hard to just make patterns up from nothing, but it's interesting to do it from something that's there. Yeah, good. Sounds good. Gracie, you have anything to show yet? How's it going?
Okay,
Well, I like the pattern on the floor.
this,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. That mirror is pretty intense. Nice.
Yeah.
And so you really have a significant still life there.
Yeah, I like, I could literally, I've never really like something.
Yeah.
I got the craving for it today for some strange reason, so.
Well, I think in some ways everything's a still life because once you're taking it and putting it on a still frame, then it becomes still life, So, yeah, I never liked the idea of still life, like putting objects together and having this harmony. But I like the idea of having just a corner of the room or a table with stuff on it, or, that and opening up a window, or, having it be something that's nearby. That's the way I prefer to think of it. Nature mort, like stop to nature, dead nature. That's kind of more of an apt name problem. More appropriate. But it's nice, and I like that start of that big table. I think that's going to work out pretty well for you. Sounds good. It can be really something you can dig into.
Yeah, I'm studying need to like actually do something that's more than like a couple hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's also the motivation of having these longer poses now. Is that it's things that can build on something that you've already done versus just an immediate response. Immediate response is fun, but it ends up only going so far. Yeah, good. Glad to see it. So you have to keep that pink wrap here somewhere.
Yeah, I'll keep it here in the locker.
Uh,
Or I could very well keep it in the model's room, model changing room.
Yeah, you're the only one in there. Have like your own private studio space. We'll come in there and they're living in there.
Just got a craving for falafel.
Oh,
I know.
yeah, when you're sitting there quietly, all these things jump in. You can go to the ready terminal.
Yeah, that's right.
It fits like that.
And they actually put pickled vegetables on it when
They
it.
do. Here's your sort of kimchi.
Great idea, Doug. Yeah, I noticed their falafel tastes different than the truck.
Oh,
Truck
much
falafel.
different. Yeah, I watch those trucks. Have you made falafel?
No, and I was wondering if folks mostly use chickpeas or they use fava beans, because I've
Right.
seen that you can use both.
Sure. Yeah.
It looks a little complicated for me. Plus, I don't have a. I guess you have to have a fryer.
Right, maybe, but if you have a deep pan, you could do it in that.
Oh, almost like you would fry chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're not that big. They just have to be able to submerge.
That's a great idea too.
There's even a falafel mix you can get. We've got that before.
Like a powder mix.
You know, you just mix water with it.
I don't remember seeing. Yeah, 'cause I don't remember seeing fava beans
Mm,
at the supermarket all that much.
no. Can't be Goya though either.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I'll do Hanover, like Hanover's beans,
Yeah.
but no more Goya. That's a done.
Nope. Do that.
I'll keep my eye out though for the powdered falafel mix.
Yeah, I can't remember where we got it. We used to get it. My daughter was living with us. That's it.
They didn't come out all dry and crumbly.
Well, yeah, it depends how you mix it, and you have to fry it right. So it's not perfect, but you know, you still have to be able to do it. Yeah, do
That's what I think whenever I think of powdered mix. Then you have to be adept at making the yogurt sauce too.
Yeah. Real. That's just fine. Yeah, if you don't have tahini, it doesn't taste good at all.
Yeah, the tahini. I forgot about that. So tahini is sesame seeds?
Yeah. Very well.
interesting how when you change the texture of a food, it changes the taste almost entirely.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if you ever got hummus before, you didn't have the tahini. It's quite a shock.
Without the tahini? Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's a sad day.
What happened?
It's missing something very important. It's funny because I think when you get it from the truck, they don't have tahini on it.
I'm sure they don't, 'cause that's expensive.
Oh, that's why. That makes sense.
You better stay with the truck.
Stay away from the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think the last time I got falafel, I went to Reading Terminal
Yeah.
just because the quality was so much better.
Yeah, Scott's someone who's always getting sketchy stuff in the truck. Hot dogs from 7-Eleven.
That's time. You got some extra points there for making me snort. Yeah. Oh my.
So we have two poses.
Okay.
Two poses, folks.
That's fast.
Yeah, these ones just fly. They fly. Yeah. Have you talked to Scott since last week?
Yeah,
How's his dog doing?
um, still not good. I mean,
What happened? Was he attacked?
yeah, so Scott told me that he went for a walk with his dog, like he does every morning. And there was a guy that had a white pit bull that had a leash.
Oh,
And he said when he was walking his dog, I think her name is Courtney.
yes.
When he was walking Courtney, the pit bull ran from between the cars and lunged straight at his dog.
Oh, no.
So, um, yeah, her legs were pretty badly ripped up.
Oh, no.
And he's not, it doesn't look like she's gonna walk again.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Also, too, the owner of the pit bull was, it seemed like from Scott's retelling that the guy was just nonchalant about
Sure.
it. It was as if his apology wasn't even a real apology.
No, I'm sure not. Well, why would you have a dog like that?
Right. Well, it's that, and then I don't get why people feel okay with walking with their dogs unleashed. I just
Well, obviously the guy had some issues.
think,
Yeah, but then it's too bad that Scott kind of came in the middle of that. Gosh, that's sad, poor thing.
it's really sad. I mean, his dog is 13 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
And I mean, like, what was it, the week after, or the week that it snowed,
yeah.
he was talking about how his dog almost turned back into a puppy.
Yeah, jumping around.
Yeah, jumping through the snow.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I felt terrible when he told me.
yeah.
Because you figure too, the dog now, because it's compromised in such a way, it's gonna have issues with trying to go to the bathroom. And
Oh,
she's very temperamental. She doesn't like to be picked up, apparently. So, yeah. Like I mean, your pets are your
oh,
children.
of course.
You know.
So is Courtney home or where?
I think she's at home. But they were talking about having to get an appointment for her for surgery.
Oh, jeez.
That's usually a couple of $1,000s
Oh,
too.
of course. Yep. Yep.
So I did ask him, I said, well, is the owner of the dog going to be held responsible? Because, well, especially since he didn't have the dog on a leash. That's
Yeah, but you know, how is he going to make money?
like,
You know, that's a fool's errand. You know?
yeah, and probably what they would do is they probably wouldn't hold the owner as accountable, but they would probably put the dog to sleep.
Yep. Yep.
I see this out in West Philly a lot. There's a lot of folks that have dogs that they would consider harmless, not on a leash.
Yeah.
And all I keep thinking is, I think about the pit bulls that are rehabbed,
Yeah.
that are very protective of their space. I think about owners getting injured,
Yeah.
trying to protect their dog.
Yeah.
I just don't know why common sense isn't so common,
Yeah.
especially in this case. Like you figure if you leash your dog, you stand to keep your dog.
Yeah.
You know? Keep your arms and hands and things like that.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's trending. I've had to, when I walk around in my friend's neighborhood down in Graduate Hospital area,
Yeah.
I have to carry a stick with me
Yeah.
just for walks because no one has their dog on a leash.
Yeah.
And the thing that blows my mind is these dogs are not obedient
No.
and they almost run their owners.
Yeah.
Like I was moving some of my belongings from one of my friend's house down there, and a friend that was helping me to move had the door open so we could move the furniture out. And not a second later, there's a beagle from the street that ran into my friend's house.
Yeah.
And then the minute the beagle got into the house, the beagle tried to act like he owned
Yeah.
the house. He was nipping at me. I was like yelling for the owner to get the dog out because this is the front of the raccoon
Yeah.
house. So I didn't really want it.
You don't want to raccoon tussle.
No. Would have been terrible. But the owner or the woman who was watching the dog, she just kept talking to it like it was a baby. She didn't grab it by its collar or anything like that. And the reason why it ran into the house was because it wasn't on a leash.
Yeah. Yeah, I would assume the person would have been right behind him. Oh, boy.
I wish it was like the Philadelphia Parking Authority, you know, where folks could just get fined.
Yeah, right. So how much time do you have left on
It's,
that? It's 40, and you go to 50, so how much more time do you have on this post?
I have, 1, 2, 3, I have, I think, 4 more minutes,
Oh, okay. All right, I'll start looking at this one now.
or 3 minutes.
You want to go for just like 6 minutes? Want to do that?
What'd you say?
You want to just go for 6 and call it that?
Okay.
All right, let me take a look at your works now. We've got about 10 minutes. All right, Vanessa, you are first up.
I might have to stretch this leg out for just
Yeah, you
a
have
second.
So, Eric, did you share this one?
Mm-hmm. Good. Looks nice. Continue to yellow. Yeah, that's good. Oh, nice. Yeah, so you know what I was hoping would happen, and it did, is that they have different coloration and tonality to them. And so you'll be able to join them together. Watch that leg as it descends down. See how it go a little thicker. And same with that upper arm. Yeah. And then the color you've got around the yellow looks good, but instead of changing to more greens and such as it goes into shadow.
Yeah.
And you could use some of that red as a nice recessionary space, that red pink kind of behind the blue. Yeah, it's good. It'll be fun. And then the spot video of that and pull together. That'll be great. That'll be great. Okay. All right, Claire, what do you think? Claire. Hello, Claire. Hi. Oh, nice, Claire. Yeah, so you're working at getting those local colors around, which is not a bad idea because that just helps organize what's going to happen with the figures. I tend to encourage the students to put in local color for the figures, even if it's only in the light or the dark or even totality. You know, you think of it in the same way that you did when you put in that Draper color. That, you know, what would be the color between the light and the dark, and just mask that in completely. And that way you can start to relate it as it goes. You know, one of the fears is you lose the drawing of it, but of course you can bring it right up to that line. Yeah, it looks good though, and that just reposition of the legs better. I like the foot not running off and then the other one running off. So there's this nice balance between the two. All right, so good start. Good start. Nice. All right, Kate. Kate with a massive spotlight in the room. It looks like an alien dropping down. Wow, you got a lot done, Kate. You got a lot done. Let me see. I think the only thing I'm worried about is that lower part of the body looks great on the one that's running off a lot, but yours is running into some of the issue we were just talking about with Claire, is that if you really make that foot of that bent leg on the one with the yellow come into the painting more and not run off, I think visually then we'll have a play between the two of them better. And even if it means you just bring it up a little bit, like you could foreshorten that upper leg a little bit more, and then have that other lower leg have some room. The other thing is when the leg bends like it does when it's folding up underneath the body, it's going to rise a little bit. It'll come up like this. So yours is almost horizontal, so bring that up on an angle like that. You know the one that's tucked under the body. And then the last thing is that edge of the red, both on the figure that's got the blue and the figure that's got the yellow, is ending right on the edge of the figure. Like one's on the head and one's around the shoulder to the head. So just move it left or right a little bit so it doesn't just, create that tangent right there. Okay? You know what I'm talking about with that? All right, sounds good. All right, great. All right, so Tara, you've had your volume on both the YouTube and the Zoom, and that's why it's been echoing a lot. Is it still echoing when I'm talking? Tara? Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Is it echoing or anything? It's still echoing. Yeah, it's in both. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, nice. I like that, the relationship between the two figures. Wow, that's wonderful. Really nice. You have that really strong diagonal connecting the two figures, both from that light shaft and then from the yellow angle and the way the blue. So you've got the pink and the purple, and then you've got the blue coming this way, the yellow coming that way. So it's really a nice composition there. Very, very strong. Yeah, really, so you really got far. So this will be fun to see where this develops. I think everything looks proportional. Some of your upper arms, as you're putting them in, the upper arms is a little thin, so go a little wider with them. And then that leg that runs off of the figure that's cropped, that needs to get a little wider too, right at that area around the buttocks. Just a little bit more right around there. But I love the relationships of the shapes as they go through. Well done, Tara. Very good. Nice. All right. Good. All right. Anna, have you joined the party? Hey, how'd it go today? So it looks like a palm tree with some things. What's coming around at the top?
It's supposed to be a volcano.
Oh, it looks like a palm tree. Oh, I see what you got. Yeah, it does look like that is. So you're doing it in honor of Vesuvius exploding?
Is it Vesuvius exploding?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this weekend. This weekend. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they also found a chariot, an ancient four-wheel chariot. Yeah, so you should look into that. But it's, I see it now. I know what you're doing. So if you go darker with the mountain itself. All right, you done?
Yeah, that's time.
Thank you very much. That was excellent.
3:46.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good seeing you again.
Good seeing you too.
So, so if you darken that at the bottom where the mountain is, yeah, then you'll have the weight of that central form, and then those sprays of the lava coming up would be a little bit easier to abstract and have some. Yeah, what's the yellow and the green in the ground? They're just sort of a decorative element in the top?
Yeah, this is supposed to be more yellow. It's supposed to be like a forest spring. It's kind of like sacrificing this. I don't know.
All right, well, the yellow's good. Yeah, bring that down. What are you using for material? What is that?
My head.
Yeah, but what are you using for? Oh, yeah, they're a little hard to build up. They get a little waxy.
Yeah, I just feel like we're, using, material that can't like put on top of each other.
Yeah, it's not layering very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's wild. Figure out, I don't know.
Do you have any turpentine or mineral spirits nearby? Or can you borrow some from town?
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah, because if you put a little bit of that on, even with a little rag or a little brush, that would help dissolve it. And then you can put some more layers on top of that.
cool. Yeah, I really want to like do details.
No.
Detailed bases.
No.
And so I just kind of put like a brief thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but then would it really feel like you're having a sacrifice though, if you don't have some sort of reference of, like, because we can't really, we can tell there's something going into the mountain, but we don't know if it's going in or coming out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do.
Because those things being separated from the dark and those bright yellows around there, they end up having so much dominance visually. Now, when you darken that lower part of the mountain, that'll help balance it, but it'll still have this pretty triangular spray going from both directions. And then you get that little wimpy one coming down just above the mountain. Yeah, like right there. No, up high, right there. Yeah. So I guess that's you showing us that it's exploding, but then, yeah, maybe the circumference of it has to get a little bigger. Like if you get that top part of it bigger, then you could feel like there's something going into it.
Yeah.
Did when you put those gouache on there, did it stick or was it staying off? Yeah, you had that gouache next to it, to the left, on the floor. Yeah, did you try that? Yeah, because it probably isn't going to stick because the stuff you use with the wax in it.
Yeah.
So if I've looked at your work, you guys can sign off. We'll see you next week and we'll continue on this pose. So good start. All right. See you. Bye. Yeah, so I think there's something interesting happening there, but it's just like, how are you going to get those layers to stick? It becomes it's becoming kind of a problem. The other thing you might want to do is you could cut out some of it and put some dark behind it. Because that's what you're really missing is you can't really get dark enough. Yeah, like if you cut that out and you can kind of put some dark behind it, or you can even.
I can definitely go on top, but I can darken, but I can't light.
Oh, I see. Oh, so that's why you couldn't get that yellow back in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can definitely go back to this.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
You might be able to use some gesso on that. Pull some gesso down, and then that can lighten up. You can put yellow on top of that. Yeah, that might work.
Yeah, it's like composition.
Yeah, it's interesting because what you've got is you've got a series of triangles which are always good, but really what you've got is an X. So you've shown us that the center of it's kind of right in there. The only worry, really composition what would be nice is if, that's why I keep stressing about the dark of that mountain. Because if you have all that yellow and the light behind those legs, and then you have all that really dark right at the mountain, then you'll be able to get those two balances of yin and yang, and then have the big triangulation on either side of them. But generally when people do that, is they do like a pattern around it like this. You could kind of break it up and move around because that could be a little bit more organic or fractured. And then your strength is going to be that yellow and the red at the top and the dark at the bottom. So it'll be like this.
They do it like
almost like an impressionist stop and start or a, broken stroke or something on the right and left side. So that can become a little bit more organic.
Wait, I'm having a hard time understanding.
Well, see how you have the lines going with this?
Are there any like paintings that?
Yeah, I'm thinking Lucas Samaras. Lucas Samaras has like a self-portrait with some spaces like that around broken spaces.
So S-A-S-O-N.
Samaras, let me see. Let me see if I can find it.
It's a self-portrait.
Yeah.
This one? Wait.
No. No, but that's pretty cool. No, really. Oh, this is pretty cool. I haven't seen those. Huh. Um, like, let's see. Well, kind of like this one. See this one where it's all fuzzy and the details are in there? It's like you have that and then there's all these broken strokes around it as it comes out. But there's one I'm thinking of. Oh, where is it? Or like this even. Swirling patterns.
So you're saying like get different like colors in them?
Colors and marks, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's got lots of portraits. It's like this one, but it's got more color behind it. It's not that Chuck Close one. This is what's from the self-portraits.
Like rather than like defaulting to the white background.
That's right, because you're letting that white just kind of carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like this. You see how this is self-portrait? You see how he's getting a pattern in there? And there's like a subset.
Wait, click on it.
See that pattern, like the dots? That's what I was thinking, if you have like a pattern in there, a little bit more. Oh, this one I was thinking. See how we have the pattern. Because then you have, because like with yours, see how you have like a big mountain coming up and then this coming down? It would be like it's spraying out, zoom, zoom, zoom. And it becomes like this energy field as it goes out. This is an artist you should probably look into a little bit more. Pretty inventive. Performance, object oriented, and then paintings too. A lot of different varieties of things. We're a real thinker. Sculptures as well. Did this series of chairs. I work on one in San Antonio. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, see these aren't these cool? Look at that with a box. Isn't that great? With all these, it's got like organic material and then there's like these embedded melted forms on the inside. Real interesting. Like, oops. Sorry.
So I have a class at 4.
Okay. See, I'll see you next. All right.
Thank you, should I go?
Wait, you have to wait. Hold on. You have to go now
Oh, I thought she wanted to go.
too. She did. Oh yeah, but she had to leave. Like go bye bye.
I thought she wanted to stay.
No, she wanted to. She wanted to go. She wanted to go bye bye. I wanted to show you this chair on. It's kind of interesting. Where is that chair? There it is. Look at that. Isn't that? This is all bronze. Isn't that cool? Look at that stacked up. So this guy's got one out in his yard. This big estate. He's got this thing going up. You have to go up a big ladder, like a 14-foot ladder to get up there. Because he's kind of what I thought you'd like. Oh, there, look outside. It's like it's defying the sense of perspective and proportion, kind of stuff like you like to do. You know, like you're like challenging the idea of like where we're looking at it from, what we're trying to get out of it. Yeah, so look in there more. I think it'd be interesting. Kind of like find it. What's the surface you're working on?
It's figure.
Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, that's pretty
It's
good.
like they were giving out a bunch of this stuff for free at like that thing across from the library
Oh, that's nice. Oh, good.
last year.
Oh, good.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's a mat board. Yeah, it's the works on paper storage area. Yeah, yeah, and they give away stuff when they don't use it. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Awesome. I'm glad you got some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've put a little bit of salt in it, break it up.
Okay.
And that way you can layer on top of it. But since you've got that wax base, you're not going to be able to put water base in it. It'll just separate.
Yeah.
But not in a good way.
Okay.
All right, great. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay, sure. I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna pass it along to my friends.
Yeah, please do. That'd be
He's a
great.
thank you.
And just tell me too, if you can't come in, there's another opening for the front one on Saturday.
Okay.
And then it's just open Wednesday through Saturday, when that time out. And you don't need to make an appointment because they can have as many as 50 people or something. You don't have to worry about that anymore. They were asking for appointments, not anymore.
Right. I will pass it.
Sounds good. And yeah, I'll reach out to Scott, but tell him too if you see him, I feel really bad about that. It's too bad. But this poor dog. Yeah, it was a real mess last week between you getting sick and then this dog being so I don't know if to try to help get get started, so they did pretty well, but it was a mess.
Yeah, actually, well, it's kind of down now.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're the perfect person to add as like to the balance for them too. You know, to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, when I got him started, it was fine, and then he got Marcus over there, so Marcus was trying to help him, you know, keep it going, but he just needs somebody to get things started, because they're just thinking about, I don't know what's going on, you know, why isn't anybody here?
I heard Marcus also mom. So.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, because I told them to just work on themselves. Part of the idea of being a little more spontaneous.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm doing that in the interior next year.
Well, yeah. Marcus was one man.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. So that's Marcus going all the way, man. He's a good guy. All right, thanks. Thanks, Bruce. I'll see you Friday.